Welcome back, guys, to the Top Podcast. Here with your co-host George. And it's been a couple episodes now. I've been dropping a lot of episodes now with this new series, and I'm really happy, really proud of what I've been able to do and all the guests that have been through. I really appreciate y'all for tuning in. Today I got a kid, man, that used to be here. Now he's a grown man, bro, from Cornell University. And it's my pleasure, man, to present to y'all Ashton Davis. How you doing, brother? Man, it's been a long time since I've seen you, probably since, my freshman year, sophomore year, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And now, I told you I was kind of shocked because you look different. I don't know, you look, more skinnier. You're still really big. I was like, he looked different. But, I don't know if you've seen this, but your intro was you've won 3 individual state titles while wrestling at Cleveland High School, part of 4 state championship teams here at Cleveland High School, and 2-time Fargo All-American, 2-time World Team Trials placer, placed at the Beast of the East tournament, and Tennessee winner of the 2022 Dave Schultz Award. After,
right.
It's been so much, I think, you did here in high school. A lot of people respect you just because of what you did when you were here in the program. How do you feel like that has, inspired you to do the same at Cornell?
It's been almost everything. You come back and you go to the kids' practices just because you want to see everybody that supported you when you were here, and you see all the little kids and they look up to you even more now, and it just motivates me to do what I did here up there on a bigger stage, and I just hope that I have a healthy body long enough to where I can achieve what I want to achieve.
Yeah. What are those goals you're looking for now into the season, now that your redshirt year is over and you're a true freshman? What do you feel like is next for you?
Yeah, I mean, I want to be an NCAA All-American, NCAA champion. And it might be a long ways away, but, I'm here for the journey.
Yeah.
And that's kind of something I've been struggling with low-key recently is, I'm not operating on my time. I have to – if it's not God's plan for me to win an NCAA championship this year, I just have to trust the process and do that next year, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you because, a lot of the guys that have been through here multiple times, I've asked them about their goals, and they always tell me, something really big. And I always say I like long-term goals, me personally, because I feel like you always have something to chase. When it's something short, I feel like you want to get it, and you can get it easier. So I feel like sometimes you try to lower it down or, you can slack because you're like, oh, I'll get that. But, I feel like when it's that long-term goal, something that you want, I feel like it's hard for you to achieve it, and you know that. So I feel like every day that goes by, it's another day to build on whatever your goal is. So
Exactly.
now going into this year, I know that, last year you had Yanni Dekamahalis there, and Vito, a lot of other guys that, are key to the Cornell spot now with these guys. But now with Yanni gone, how do you feel like the energy in the room has changed, or do you feel like it's still the high intensity it was when he was around?
Yeah, so Yanni graduated, so he's not on our Cornell wrestling team, but he still lives in Ithaca. He trains at Cornell still with, our senior level athletes, and he coaches the gray shirts, which is what I did last year. He coaches them now, so he's around every day, and he's always obviously someone to look up to and, look at how he's working and try to emulate what he does because, he borderline does everything right,
Yeah.
you know. So the intensity hasn't changed. If anything, the intensity has gone up because, we don't have Yanni now, so we have to pick up some slack.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've been working really hard, and everybody supports each other. We're a big family up there, just like we were here. So it makes those tough practices a little bit easier.
Yeah. Now with, you being there, you told me that it was kind of hard for you when you first got there because it was really different.
Yeah.
How do you feel like, your experience as a freshman was when you first got to Cornell?
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, I come from little old Cleveland, Tennessee, and now I'm up in New York, and not any Southerners on the team aside from myself, so everyone sounds different. Wrestling's a lot harder, so the thing that I've always been the best at is, I'm struggling with it now.
Mm-hmm.
I have so much time on my hands but nothing to do with it, really, so I don't know. I was just lucky to have a good team around me that, I made friends with quickly, and we just found things to do. It's kind of just like Cleveland. there's not much to do, but you can find things to do. Like that's
Yeah.
what me and my friends here we always did, was just find things to do. So that's what we do up there too, which that makes it feel a little bit like home. Less struggle when you're doing things with your boys.
Yeah, you feel like just the opportunity for you to be out there, maybe you're a little far away from home, but being able to film, I feel like being able to build those bonds with your coaches, and everybody around. Like you said, I didn't know this, but you told me that they have like personal coaches.
Yeah.
Like, how does that experience go? Because I don't really know nothing about that.
It's good. So we have on our Cornell staff, we have 4 coaches.
Yeah.
Like they all work together, but they all have their own individual athletes too. So I take instruction from all the coaches, but my main coach is Coach Quiz. He's like a 3-time world team member, 2-time world medalist at heavyweight. So he's like he's my personal coach. What he says goes for me, So he like, whether that's taking the time out of his day to do a private practice with me or riding up a personalized lift for me that maybe I'm not getting in the team lifts because my body's different than other kids on the team. So it just makes everything more personal and easier to grow that way, because when you're looking to 4 people, it's tougher than or for the coaches. If they're looking at 50 people, it's easier to manage 10 people than 50 people.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, do you think that that's part of the reason why you've been so successful these past years? Now just growing, I guess just from going from being that rusher now, getting that year of experience, just settling in. You feel like you're getting better and you're winning, because I saw that you won a tournament a couple days ago, I think, or like a week ago or something like that. Just preparing for those moments, do you think that has helped you a lot to achieve where you're at right now?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that go into it. I definitely think my time with Coach Gwiz and the rest of the coaching staff has formed me into a much better wrestler, especially being able to wrestle with Gwiz. He's achieved the things that I want to achieve at my weight class, so he knows what it takes. And another big part of it that I feel like not a lot of people talk about is we have a team sports psychologist. So he every Wednesday we meet as a team. He runs us through, he teaches us breathing patterns and things that we should tell ourselves, routines that we should go through before our matches, throughout the day, to make sure that our anxiety and stress is low and our excitement's high and we're performing at the optimal level that we want to perform at. So all of those things combined, and just my own desire to be great and being grateful that I am where I am. So that motivated me to work harder in the room, and all those things combined, I think, were pivotal in the improvements that I've made recently.
Do you think that just with that, that was a big change? Because I know, here, for us, it's just, a game, something we like to do. But I feel like over there, they take it more like a job, because it takes a really hard mental toll on you, every day doing stuff, sometimes expecting to be that guy, when you come in and wanting to be better and wanting to actually win that spot that you've always wanted. And I think, just failing sometimes gets your brain kind of rattled up, and you mess up or you're thinking differently than you should. And I think that's really cool to have a psychologist there just to help y'all out, because sometimes I think people don't really think how much kids, go through every year, with work or things outside of school, things in school. And I think just that is a big help, I think, for all of y'all, because, it's making y'all better, mentally stronger. And I think that's just something that's going to help y'all strive in the long run. Now with y'all having on a 2-match streak now with the Cornell, but y'all have always been a really good team, as a team whole. Always had really good leaders there, but now, Yanni's gone, and I feel like that little spot is hard to fill, as a guy with a lot of character, a lot of talent, and it's hard to fill that guy's spot. How do you feel the change has helped y'all now that y'all are probably in halfway, a couple matches into the season? How do you feel your team has grown in these past matches?
It's good. We faced a lot of challenges as a team. our coach preaches every day that last year was last year. So we got third at NCAA's last year, but that trophy is in the trophy case. So, like, it doesn't matter anymore. What matters is what's next. So, we faced a lot of challenges, and our coaches have prepared us for that. We've grown a lot as a team over the past couple of weeks, just, going through these hard practices, hard times, and, that really forms a great bond between people, especially athletes. We beat each other up every day at practice, and then we go home and we just goof off and, just like, you're supposed to do. So, we formed a great bond over this season, and I think our team is going to achieve great things this year. We had a tournament in Nashville a couple days ago where we dueled Little Rock, we dueled Pittsburgh, and Iowa State. So we lost to Iowa State in the final duel. We had a couple of our starters out, but that's not an excuse. We lost the duel fair and square, and I think we're just going to use that as motivation and just achieve the things that we want to achieve as a team and individuals, just riding off of that low, honestly.
Do you think that just being there, even Iowa being a really good team, just overall, with Carr and our hometown kid too, from Cleveland. So, what do you feel like that experience was, just being there with all these guys? I mean, I think last year you were there too, right? Were you at these tournaments or no?
No, I wasn't.
No. Do you think that, just that change now, you see these guys, like I was telling guys all the time, it's cool because you watch these guys on TV sometimes, and now, like, you see them in person. And I feel like one moment, you have that surprise moment, but another moment, I think it's just, like, you get used to it. You think that at first, when you first got to Cornell, was it kind of like a shocker, like, you saw those guys that, like, you had seen on TV, stuff like that, or was it just something normal for you?
Absolutely. I mean, I remember it was, like, a couple weeks into to me being up there at Cornell, and Coach Gwiz was training freestyle, and he was like, we were training folk style, which is what we wrestle here in America. Freestyle is the Olympic style, and he's training to make the Olympic team. So he was like, Ashton, like, I want you to come to the freestyle practice and be my partner. I'm like, cool. So I'm there, I'm wrestling Gwiz, and I like look to my left, and Yanni is wrestling Kyle Dake, like right next to me. Damn. And then I look to my right, and Vito's over there wrestling our coach, one of our coaches, Frank Pirelli, who's, he's another great wrestler in and of himself. And I'm like, wow. And I'm wrestling Gwiz, and Gwiz has a question. He asks Yanni asks Dake, and they're all just like conversating, and I'm just sitting there like my mind is blown. I'm like trying to pick everyone's brain at the same time. Yeah. It was definitely like I was fanboying for a minute. But
no, that's true, because I feel like I've always said that, but that's cool because like you see these guys, man, you don't know how they really are. You don't know how like they're genuinely how they act. And I feel like that's just a cool experience. I always thought about that when, like, you were going to go to Cornell. I was like, yo, this guy's going to wrestle with Yanni. I was like, that's cool. I was like, bro, that's like, because I watch Yanni to this day. I love watching wrestling, bro. Like, I watch all sports. I watch hockey, I watch baseball, basketball, soccer, football, wrestling, every sport that I can watch because I want to learn how to commentate every sport. And I commentate sometimes for the wrestling team, sometimes for football, sometimes for soccer. And the other day, I still like wrestling a lot. Like, I watch it all the time. I just think, like, the only reason why I haven't wrestled ever since I wrestled in middle school was because I just didn't feel like I could make the weight, and I just didn't feel like going through that because I was like, you know what, I can just go and play soccer and play varsity and be straight. I just don't want to be on JV and cut weight every week. And it just wasn't like, it just wasn't something I wanted to do, but I always enjoyed wrestling, and I still watch it till now. Like, when it was the NCAA tournament, I was watching all the matches. Like, when I saw Spencer Lee get pinned, I was like, whoa. That was like a moment that shocked me because Spencer Lee was like one of the most dominant wrestlers I'd ever seen. And I was like, oh yeah, he's gonna win another one. Like, I thought he was gonna be just like Yanni, go for it. And I mean, it sucked because you saw him and I was like, yo, like, he's been off all year. I feel like that senior year he had, there was a lot of matches where he was giving up a lot of points, and I had never seen him really give up points like that year. And I was just seeing him like just giving up, like, he would win matches by like 14-8, 14-10. I was like, bro, that's not him. Like, yeah. I remember just seeing him just dominate tech kids every match. So how have you learned, from these guys? Because like you say, you were in the training room with them. Do you think the intensity level was way higher than the other kids, or you think that that's just an example for you? Or
Yeah, the intensity of the practices honestly are not all that different than what we had at Cornell or at Cleveland here.
yeah,
We have good coaches that prepared us for wrestling after high school. But I think the biggest thing is like off the mat. These guys, Yanni, Vito, Gwiz, Dake, they all take their recovery super seriously. They take their nutrition super seriously.
yeah,
They take their lifting super seriously. It's things like that I think is what forms a champion, because we all come to practice. We all do the same thing. We're all working hard. Nobody wants to be the person that's slacking off when everyone else is working hard. So everyone's working hard in the room. So what can you do that's extra? I think that's what makes the difference between like Yanni and Vito and then some of the other guys, that don't achieve the things that they have.
Yeah, because I feel like those guys, they have so much experience. They've been in the game for so long, and I mean, Olympic champs, bro. Vito's an Olympic champ, like NCAA champ. Like, that's like a guy that you see, and like you see his little kid headgear, and it's funny because you're like, bro, that kid's a hammer, bro. And like you see him, and you're just like, oh, whatever. Like you wouldn't think he's that good. Like, that's what I always say. Like I remember when he wrestled against Roman in the finals, I was like, yo, he's gonna kill him, because I was like, Roman is flashy and everything. He's a great wrestler. And didn't take away from him. I mean, now he's representing my country, Mexico, so something cool to see. But, like, bro, Vito's a dog, and he's the type of kid that you can't just sleep over or think that you're going to run over him, because he's going to smack you right back, and that's one of the things I liked about him and Yanni was they were really flexible, really good off the re-attack, even down, man. Like they say, you can take a shot, but it's going to be hard to finish it, and I think it's just like, they just like showed that pride, that Cornell was just known for Kyle Dake, and now they're known for all these guys, and it kind of reminds me how like kind of like you came here to Cleveland and like you were just the Ashton kid, and then you became this legend here, and now everybody respects you. And I think not only for you, but some of the other guys that have left too and now are in college, kids that they come back home like you say, and everybody thinks you're a hero, because they've seen you grow up, they've seen you win a state championship, they've been at those matches. And I've always talked about the culture for wrestling. Me and Christian have talked about it multiple times, because people would ask me like, oh, like Cleveland is like 7-time state champion. I'm like, yeah, bro. Like, yeah, it's like, it's cool. It's normal now. And we always say every year, it's like, bro, every year you already know they're going to win. So we just prepare tickets for state. But it's funny because I was like telling them, I was like, just the work they put in, man, like all year long. Like, I was telling that to Mr. D the other day, because he was like, yo, like wrestling is going to another tournament. I was like, yeah, bro, like, dude, they win everywhere they go, so they might as well go somewhere else where like they know that they'll probably have some competition. And like he was telling me, he was like, yeah, bro, that's the reason why they're so good, because like they're always training, they're always doing something. And I think that really prepared you now for college, because I would see the intensity of those practices. I remember my sophomore year, I wanted to make varsity, because the year before I had made varsity, but only for like the playoffs at the end of the year. I was a top scorer in JV, had the top assist in JV, but I played with a bunch of juniors. Like, all my JV team was full of juniors that year, because the varsity team was too good. We were stacked. And I got invited to play at the end of the year. And I remember, like, the next year, a lot of those kids that were really good left, and our team was not good at all. Like, we had good kids, just that nobody cared about the team, and, like, kids just weren't focused. And I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm a sophomore. Like, I still got 3 more years. Like, maybe this year might not be good, but, like, I got to prepare for next or whatever. And I really wasn't even thinking about that sophomore year. Like, I didn't even care, because I was like, bro, these guys don't care. Like, I can't just carry this team by myself. Like, everybody, almost half of the team was seniors, and they didn't care. Yeah. And I was like, damn. Like, I remember my freshman year, all the seniors, first one at practice, last one's the lead practice, always pushing everybody. Like, they weren't really there to laugh or have fun. Like, they were there just to practice. And it made the team so much better. And, like, it made it easier on the coach. Like, the coach doesn't really have to do anything when the team is just, like, locked in, knowing what they're supposed to do. So, I remember just coming in every day and, like, just not wanting to be there. And, like, I just told Coach Christian, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm just going to go work out with the wrestlers. And then he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to go work out with the wrestlers, because if I go work out with the wrestlers for 2 months, I'll get in shape. And if I go work out with you, I'm not going to do anything. And he was like, okay. And then I went. And, like, Coach Box and Coach Knox know me. And I pulled up, and Coach Knox was like, you finally made up your mind. And I was like, no. I was like, well, I just came because I want to work out and get ready for soccer. And he was like, okay. And then I remember, like, I would run with you. I would chase your butt so you wouldn't stop running. And, like, it was cool because I got to meet a lot of the guys, man, Arlo, Bentley, and all them, you know, good kids, bro, kids that were willing to put their heart on the line just to win something. And that really helped me a lot because I would see you on the room, you know, you see everybody sweating their balls off, man, just doing everything they can. And, like, the heat all the way up, bro. Everybody's cooking in there. You run 2 laps, you're already sweating like crazy. And, like, it was just a good atmosphere to be in because I remember I would leave those practices and I'd be like, yo, like, I actually did something today. Like, I worked my butt off today. And when I transitioned into soccer season, I felt like I was in the best shape of my life. You know, I was running past these kids like nothing. And I was like, yo, it feels so nice. Because you see everybody else huffing and puffing and you're chilling like nothing happened. And just part preparation, like you say. You know, just being used to the new atmosphere, being used to everything else that's going on. And, you know, I know that you told me that your first year you had like a group that you lived with? Or how was that?
So it was 13 dudes. We all just graduated high school, but we were all taking our first year of college off just to train wrestling. So we all lived in one house, just 13 of us. And, yeah, those are, like, my best friends now, you know.
Yeah.
You don't live with guys like that for a whole year and not create a good relationship. And we trained together every day, and we'd go home and play board games, watch movies, make food, cook. We'd have family dinner every Friday.
That's cool.
Nobody else was really a good chef, so I would chef up some pasta for the whole squad, and we would have family dinner. So
that's cool, bro.
It's pretty cool.
Wait, so you be cooking?
Of course.
You're the cook of the house?
I'm the heavyweight.
Yo, yes, sir. No, that's crazy, bro. I just thought about that. I just thought about, like, all the kids just sitting at a table. You're just passing out dishes. That was funny.
It is funny.
Nah, but so you being there, you know, I know that it was a big change from here. You know, Cleveland's a small city. Cornell is New York. You know, who doesn't want to be in New York? But have you taken any trips at the time you've been there at Cornell, or no? You stayed at home?
Trips as in what?
Like where have you not been before that you've been this year?
I've not really taken it. We don't get too much time off, to be honest. So it's just wherever we go for tournaments, that's where I go. And if not, I'm just up there training and stuff. But, yeah, I mean, we had our trip to Nashville a couple days ago. Actually, I was supposed to go to Las Vegas for a tournament like 2 weeks ago, but I tore my LCL and my meniscus like 2 days before. So I couldn't wrestle in that tournament, which was a big bummer. And then they kind of rushed me back for the duels this weekend in Nashville. And I got back and I got to wrestle in one of the duels, which was good. So I'm still recovering from that. Like, I still feel it when I wrestle. Obviously, I'm wearing this big old brace, but yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know. When did you tear it?
It'd be 2.5 weeks now.
So you tore it and you wrestled this past couple of days?
Yeah, I took like a week and a half off after I tore it, and then practiced for a week, and then I was back at the tournament.
How did you tear it?
In a match. We were at a tournament in Pennsylvania. It was like my first round of the tournament, and we got in this scramble. I was taking the kid down. He like rolled through. I followed the roll. He got in on my leg, and then I was like sitting over my knee, like trying to, complete the takedown, and it just his like whole body weight just kind of fell on it, and my knee turned just the right way, and I felt like it popped, and I was like, dang, that really hurt, and I finished the match. You can't just quit in the middle of a match. I didn't finish the tournament though. Our trainer didn't let me, but yeah, that was that.
Damn. That sucks. Now with that, you haven't had any injuries before, right? I think like one.
I have bad knees. That's really it. But last summer I had surgery on my left knee. Now I'm tearing ligaments in my right knee. But that's the price you pay. Yeah,
yeah. Now with that, like, those injuries and stuff like that, man, they suck because it's such a long process after surgery and stuff like that, and. A lot of the guys that I've seen, hurt their knees and stuff like that always tell me, like, it doesn't feel the same or, like, whatever. But I think it's just how much work you put in because I've seen some guys, I say it all the time, bro, NFL players tear their knees, like, every year. Like, almost every other year they're tearing knees and they come back stronger. And I think it's just, like, just the resources, like you say, being at Cornell, I know that y'all staff is going to do everything to bring you back better than ever. And I think that helps a lot because sometimes the resources you get here are way different than the resources you can get at college or whatever you're at. I feel like their support level is way higher. Mm-hmm. But has there been any hefty injuries this year in our team?
Our team, it just feels like we've been riddled with injuries. On a real note, I don't know. We just been working so hard, and injuries are inevitable when that's the case.
Yeah.
But yeah, our trainer with all of our resources, I came back in a week and a half from two torn ligaments. We opted not to have surgery, and this is the process. I tore it. I was super down because I was supposed to go to this great tournament in Las Vegas. I was getting the start. I was getting to go. Yeah. But I can't go anymore. I sat down with our trainer and the sports psychologist, and I was like, dang, this sucks. What am I going to do? And, they talked me through a plan, and I just believed in them. I got back in a week and a half. Ligaments are still torn, but they don't feel so bad. I was very proactive in my recovery. And yeah, so it's the same thing with everybody. Obviously, there's more severe injuries, there's less severe injuries, and everything affects everybody differently. But we have so many recovery resources. We have a hot and a cold tub. We have a standalone wrestling facility, so everything in our building is ours. So we have a hot and cold tub, which are awesome. You hop in after practice. We have a sauna, which is illegal in season, so we can't use it, but that's great in the summer. We have a hyperbaric chamber, which is essentially it's like this big oxygen tank that you lay in. You lay in there for an hour. You put on a breathing mask, and it essentially raises the air pressure in the tube, and in turn it oxygenates your blood at a rapid level, so your red blood cells recover. They create more, and your body just recovers way faster. They say an hour in the hyperbaric chamber is 17 hours outside of it. So you recover way faster. So when you're sick, if you wake up feeling sick, you go in, you come out, the next day you're feeling just fine. When you would probably be sick for 3 days if you didn't have that. So we have things like that are crazy, and then we have compression and ice boots that's what I used a lot. Is I would just wrap my knee in this big sleeve thing, and it would squeeze and ice at the same time, and lay there for 30 minutes to an hour and get me feeling right before practice so that I can deal with the pain while I'm wrestling. And then do the same thing after practice.
Is the pain really really bad, or is it at a level where you can control it, or you can handle it now?
I can handle it now. It was at a point where it was pretty tough, but it's really just certain positions. So my coach Gwiz, he was telling me it's this might be the best thing to happen to you, because now you're going to be way more disciplined in your positioning. You're gonna only stay in positions that benefit you, because if you get in other people's wrestling positions, positions that they're good at and you're not, your knee's gonna hurt and you're gonna lose in wrestling, which is really gonna make you mad. So now I have to just be super disciplined in my defense, my hand fighting, and stay in good position, and that way I'll win more wrestling matches and my knee won't hurt, which is double plus.
Yeah, that's cool, because even though you're hurt, I hear that all the time about wrestlers, in college especially, tearing stuff and just wrestling through it all year. Even with Spencer Lee, for example, tore both of his knees, and the kid still won the national championship. So then it just goes to show that it doesn't matter, I guess, how bad it is. It just matters how bad you think it is. How you make it feel. And bro, if you want it, you're gonna go get it. Regardless. So I think it doesn't really matter. But obviously it hurts. So that sucks. But how's your relationship with Mike Gray? He's a great coach, so.
Yeah, Mike is awesome. He's super tough on us at times, and I think that's what the head coach role is to be super tough on us, but also love and take care of us. So I think he did a good job forming his coaching staff, because he can be really tough on us, and our assistants, they're jokesters. Like, they're like what brings the energy to the room, and he's what brings the intensity. So, yeah, I mean, I have a good relationship with him. We cut up, we laugh. He believes in me, which I think is something that's really important. It's part of the reason why I came to Cornell. Is it's not just other schools wanted me, but I felt like Cornell was the best school, and they really believed in me, which those two things together meant a lot to me. So that's kind of why I came to Cornell. And I still feel that, and he invests a lot of time and effort into not only myself, but everyone on the team. So, I have a good relationship with Mike.
Yeah, how was I know that he's a great coach, and he's coached a lot of good guys, and especially Kyle Dake and all these other big guys that everybody else knows around the world, and just that experience. I bet it's insane, being able to be there. But how was the recruitment process for you going to Cornell? You just said that it was really good for you, but how was that process? When did it start?
I got a couple calls on, they call it recruitment day, is the first day that you're allowed to be recruited as a junior. I got a couple calls from UTC, Little Rock, and Air Force, maybe Army, a couple other schools. And just throughout the time, as I progressively, started doing better at bigger tournaments and things like that, more schools started calling. I remember it was summer after junior year. Cornell called for the first time, and I had a good conversation with their coach on the phone, and we set up a visit for me to go up there and see the school. I did that in November. I met the team, met Yanni, which I was like, what? At the time I was like, that's crazy. And now he's just one of the guys that I see every day. But it was awesome, and I love the facility. I love the team. I love the academics. I loved everything about it. I love the financial offer that I got from them. I think after my visit, they gave me my offer after that, and I think probably a week later I committed to go there. But I took visits to other schools, but no school really stuck out to me like Cornell did, so it was kind of a no-brainer.
Was that the biggest school you got recruited by?
Yeah, I mean, I talked to some big schools like Virginia Tech, and I took a visit to UPenn, which is another Ivy League school, but they're a growing wrestling program also. And I was gonna take a visit to Stanford too. After my visit to Cornell, I was talking to the coach, and we lined that up. And then after Cornell, I was like, "There's no point in me taking a visit because I'm not gonna want to go anywhere else." So I canceled that visit. But
damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Damn. So Cornell really stuck out to you, but what was one of the things that persuaded you the most to go to Cornell?
To me, it was just an accumulation of a lot of things. I knew that I could achieve what I wanted to achieve there. With the coaching staff, the awesome coaching staff, with the facilities and resources that they have, the way they buy into their athletes, the academics, the degree that's going to hopefully set me up after I'm done wrestling, because wrestling can only take you so far. It's not like a big professional sport where you can go make millions of dollars doing it after college, And just like I said earlier, the fact that they believed in me. I was on the phone with them, and they were like, "What are your goals?" This is when I was being recruited, and I was like, "I want to be a national champion." It's I can't even remember what I said, but I said something along the lines of what would you do to help me achieve that goal? And they laid out a roadmap for me of what it takes to become an NCAA champion, and I knew in that moment that they could help me do those things, and the fact that they believed that I could actually achieve those things. Obviously, it was going to take hard work. It's just skill alone doesn't always do it. But it was mainly those things, a big accumulation of a lot of things.
Yeah, do you think that that process really helps you now, because you look back on it all the time, just knowing that the journey is going to be really long, but it's part of the process. It's part of the hard work, and you'll get there.
Yeah, a lot of it is our sports psychologist always tells us this is the past is history and the future is a mystery. So be in the present, which I think is funny because pretty sure that's a Kung Fu Panda quote that he stole, but
It
which I think is funny. But no, it's definitely just really feeling that and just being super grateful. That I try to always realize that I'm in a position, in a place that a lot of people want to be in.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I take that for granted. Like, I'll show up to practice, be like, I don't want to be here. But like, yeah, but like,
So you want to be a national champ, right?
Hundreds of little kids want to be here. They want to, achieve the things that I'm like striving to achieve. Like, why would I be here and not work hard?
Yeah.
Those sorts of things, and just being where my feet are. Just trying to take advantage of every moment. Our sports psychologist always says, you win the moment, and then you win the day, and when you win the day, every day, then you achieve your goals. But the goals are down the line, so you need to win each moment.
Yeah, like the other day, I was with the soccer team on, I think, what was it? Tuesday. Tuesday. We've been having a lot of practices after school and stuff like that, just pick up games with anybody who wants to come out and play. And, a lot of the older guys, we've been there for a while. We've done it 3 past years. We know what it is. And, now it's our turn to lead, and I've always been the type of guy that people come up to me and ask me questions about anything. And I try to help them as much as I can. I'm really blessed that I've had a lot of people in my life that have inflicted a lot of wisdom into me, taught me a lot of things, just life lessons I've learned, as a little kid to now. I always like to listen to people, hear their experiences, like what they've been through and like mental battles and stuff like that. I used to hang out with a guy. He dropped out of high school and everything, and he was like a landlord, and he became like one of like the most richest guys that in chat. And I met him, and he was like super cool. He used to come to the restaurant I used to work at. Like every day he would be there, and he had like all his apartments in chat, and like, he would travel to chat every day to like go check on his apartments and stuff like that and make sure everything was good. And he told me, he was like, people always want to judge you off of what they see you have on, but they don't know what you really have. And I always like thought about that, because he would always tell me like stories about him when he was young, and like how his dad didn't believe that he was going to be anything in life because he didn't go to college and his whole family did. And he was telling me, he's like, not everybody's route is going to be what everybody else thinks. A lot of kids, they go to college because they get money for it. Other kids don't even want to go to college if they're not getting anything for it. And he was like, and it sucks because he was like, a lot of your friends go to college and you think you're wrong because, you see yourself, you're like, oh, you know what, I'm just working like a job, and everybody else is in college trying to become better. And he was like telling me, he was like, but that degree's not always going to save you, because when you're done with whatever you're doing in college, whether it's a sport or whatever, you kind of lose the love of life, because that was your love. Your love was to play the sport you play and be around it. And that's why sometimes these guys become coaches and become like personal trainers and stuff like that, because they're so in love with the game that they still want to be around, even though they know that they're probably not capable to excel the skills that they were before. And so yes, on Tuesday it felt kind of weird, but I was chilling here in class, and I was thinking like, oh, you know what, I got guys coming on Thursday, and I'm gonna try to like do my best. And I was like looking up stuff and trying to find out like things I could use and just be more organized. And I was thinking, I was like, damn, because a lot of kids in my class, a lot of kids in our soccer team, like right now that came out, are failing. And so that sucks, because, I get it. Like, these classes are different now. I don't know if you know this, but now in Cleveland, classes are not how they used to be. So like now you have 4 classes, kind of like college. So you have 4 classes like on a Monday, and then on Tuesday you have another 4 classes. Like, it's nothing the same. 4 different classes, and then you'll go like on A day will be like Monday, Wednesday, and maybe Friday if it's an A week. So sometimes you'll have A classes 2 times a week. Another week you'll have it 3 times a week. So it sucks, because sometimes, like, let's say you miss an A day on a Tuesday, on a Monday, right? And that's basically like you missed the whole week of school, because you're really not going to see that teacher until Wednesday. And that's if you see her on Wednesday. Like, you might have a B class, and then you won't be able to see her until like maybe Friday. So you miss like a whole week of work, and like you couldn't make it to class. And it sucks, because some of these teachers give you like so much homework on that day, and they're like, okay, turn in your work y'all did on Tuesday or whatever. And you're like, I wasn't even here on Tuesday, and then you're like behind like 3 pages, and you're stuck. And so I was telling like coach, I was like, it sucks because a lot of the guys want to pass, but it's harder to pass now than it was like last year. The grading scale is lower. Like, now 60 is a D, and before that was an F. So Like now that's a D. So like a lot of kids are like, oh yeah, but you can pass. Like how are you not passing? The grade scale is 60, but I don't think it's that. I think it's just the amount of work that goes into it, and then kids have jobs, bro. Kids go to practice. Kids have a life, you know, and it sucks because you're so like overpowered with so much stuff you have to do, and like for me especially, I would say like I would speak for myself. Like I got stuff to do with the pod all the time. I stay here sometimes until like 5 after school, you know, doing stuff. And like Mr. D, bro, he's like the most supportive guy. Like in my corner, he's always been like, yeah, just do what you got to do. He leaves me sometimes here, just like doing my work, and everybody's gone, and I leave, and I'm like the last person in the parking lot, and I'm leaving, and you know, Mr. Pritchard, you know, a great guy, you know, principal, and he's always telling me, he's like, man, you leave like you're like the last one to leave every day, aren't you? I'm like, yeah, sometimes. You know, I want to be great. I want to be better. Like I want to be that guy who like they're like, damn, he's working his butt off, you know. And that's what I inflicted to my team on Tuesday. I told them, I was like, hey guys, like, you know, I break it down every day before we leave, and I don't know, I had a feeling to like tell them, you know what I'm saying, to stay safe over the break, because like you said, you know, you got to live in the moment. And I told the guys, I was like, be smart about your decisions. You know, everything you do out here matters. Whether you think that you're going to get away with it or not, just be smart. You know, don't do nothing stupid that is going to carry you or drag you back to where you don't want to be. I was like, be smart with your family, you know, spend time with your family. Be happy to be there even if you don't think you want to be there, because when they're gone, you're going to miss them forever. So I was like, you know, enjoy today. You don't know if you're going to be alive tomorrow. So, you know, do what you got to do today and be great at it. So, you know, I just felt like those words are words that I wish that somebody would have told me when I was a freshman, because multiple times when I was a freshman, I just I felt like I was doing so good, but at one point I felt like I just wasn't good enough yet to like make varsity or whatever. I didn't believe in myself. And when the moment came, I was really shocked because I didn't think I was going to make it as a freshman. And like a lot of the juniors that were beside me playing with me didn't make it. Like, and I was like, how did they pick me over like juniors who are like older? You know, that's what I thought. But, you know, I just always like didn't believe in myself as much as I do now. And I think that has helped me a lot just with the podcast. Like, I've been able to bring people who I didn't think that I would bring and stuff like that. And I mean, I'm thankful for all the connections I've had, because just playing all these sports like wrestling and football and soccer, and I've built a lot of relationships that, you know, I have now that I love. You know, like I love being able to bring you and other guys on, because I was with y'all, you know, I saw y'all work, you know, and that really inspired me. You know, now that I'm older, I'm like, you know what, like I got to be better, because I've seen other guys senior year always go really hard and want to be better and want to do everything they can. They're like, I guess, in their hands to be the best. And you know, what do you think that, like, has there been, like, a lot of people that have, like, inspired you, I would say, to, like, be great, like somebody you watch or somebody that you look up to?
Yeah, I think it's, in high school, it was different than it is now. Like, in high school, it was just, my motivation was to just be the hardest working person that I could be. I wanted, honestly, I wanted to just get to Cornell. Like, that was... Not to Cornell specifically. I wanted to get to college. Like, that was my goal. And now that I'm in college, like, I want to achieve great things in college. But, no, I was just, like, in high school. When I was a kid, I was looking up to the high school kids. When I was in high school, I was looking at the guy next to me that was probably, like, Logan. Mm-hmm. Logan is always working hard. So, like, that always motivated me to work hard. And then I looked to the guys in college, and I saw them working hard, and I'm like, well, I want to be where they're at, so I should do those things. And now that I'm in college, I'm at Cornell, I look to, you know, Gwiz and Yanni and those types of guys to see what they're doing, the proactiveness and everything that they do to achieve the things that they want to do. It's literally their job, so it's their whole life. It's everything that they do is centered around becoming great, and I really respect and appreciate that because a lot of people are... you know, in these positions where they can do great things, but they don't care. And, like, there's nothing that bothers me more than somebody that doesn't care about, like, anything.
Yeah. I think, that pisses off somebody who works really hard, you know, because sometimes I feel like that puts down the whole team, you know. And me and Coach Christian talked about that the other day on the phone, and I told him, I was like, sometimes you just got to sweep out the trash, like, whether you like it or not, you know, because sometimes it's hard. It's hard to tell somebody to their face that, you know, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And because, you know, they're not going to react a good way. You know, and what's something I was like, I feel like, you know, like last year we had good leaders, but I think the year before that, when we did really bad, my sophomore year, we didn't have that. We didn't have leaders who led by example. We had leaders who wanted to lead by in the moment, you know. And I'd always say, I was like, a leader is a guy who doesn't give up even when it gets hard or good, you know. In the good or bad times, he's striving and trying to be better and showing everybody that it's possible. You know, whether whether in his back of his mind he has doubt, he's always gonna show, you know, that he doesn't. You know, he's not gonna fear nobody. And I always told him, I was like, it sucks sometimes because there's a lot of kids that are good, that have potential and like can do something big, but they just you see that their work ethic is just not enough, and it's not gonna help them at all. And like you said, you know, talent gets you so far, but hard work gets you even farther. So, you know, I think it's just one of the keys to success. You know, is just being such a hard worker and proving to everybody, you know, that you can make it happen. You know, whether it looks tough, but I think, you know, that's just part of the journey. Like you said, you know, you got to work hard. You got to do what you got to do, because if you waste time, just time flies and you'll never see, you know, what you really could have been. So, do you miss home a lot?
I do. All the time I miss home, especially in like the heat of the winter last year. It was snowing like crazy, and I'm up there. I just got my butt kicked at practice probably. I'm laid back on my couch, and I'm like, what am I doing here? I just want to go home. But, you know, so it's always super nice when I get to come home. I think the past 2 times I've come home, I brought one of my friends from up there, so it was cool to just get to show my friends from up there around Cleveland, because the South isn't, you know, they don't know anything about the South really. So it's pretty cool.
That's cool. But you say you're the only Southern guy there?
We have a kid from Louisiana and then myself, and that's it.
Do you think that just that is like really different too, because they speak differently than us too?
Yeah, they do. They make fun of the way I say some words, when in reality they're the ones that says I'm weird. But yeah, no, it's cool. People from the North just approach things differently than we do down here.
Yeah,
you know, we're just more chill.
Yeah, like I don't think we like take things too serious. I feel like they like take a lot of like, I guess like the world part of life like really serious. I think when it goes to like government and stuff like that, they go crazy over that. Yeah, I think we just like, all right, it's cool. Whoever's next in the office, I guess. But what's was like Cornell like one of the schools you like wanted to go to, or was it just a school that just came in the moment, like you liked it a lot?
I really had no plan. I didn't know where I was capable of going. I didn't know what my potential had in store for me, you know. So no, I never thought that I was going to be at Cornell. So I never thought that was realistic. So I never made it prominent in my head. Honestly, like I just thought I was going to go to UTC or somewhere around here, and just UTC's D1. It's close to home. They want me to go there. They called me on recruiting day. I'm probably just going to go there. But then, you know, the opportunity arose to go to Cornell, and I felt like that was, you know, a gift. Like, I still don't think that I'm, you know, worthy of being at Cornell, but I take advantage of that blessing every day, and just do what I can to the fullest up there. So, yeah, I mean,
it's a good experience. Yeah. Because I was like, I always thought that. I was like, dang, Ashton is from Cleveland, Tennessee, bro. I was like, Ashton's from Cleveland, Tennessee, is all the way in New York. Like, wrestling from one of the best colleges in wrestling. And people don't know that, because you're like, oh, he went to Cornell. But some people don't even know that Cornell is, like, that good.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, he went to Cornell. It's kind of like if he went to, like, a Penn State or, like, Iowa or, like, one of these big schools. Like,
that's what I always tell my friends. It's like Cornell is like the Georgia of football.
Yeah.
We're not like Penn State's probably Alabama, and Iowa's probably like Ohio State, but we're like Georgia.
Yeah. Because I feel like every year y'all have dogs, bro. Like, I've watched a lot of y'all's matches, like, these past years, like, when Yanni and all them were there. And, bro, like, good matches, bro. Like, kids out here scrambling like crazy. That's probably my favorite part of wrestling, is just the scrambling.
Yeah. Because
you don't know where it's going to go, and you're like, oh, shoot. And, like, you're looking for back points, and you're looking for everything, exposure, and it's crazy. So, I think, you know, wrestling is really, like, I don't know. I think it's just a really, like, exciting sport, because I always thought about it like this. When I was in middle school, Coach Mountain would always say, he was like, that it didn't, like, you could be down 6 points, you pin this guy, you win the whole match.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was such like a cool thing, because I was like, before, like, I played soccer, man. Like, if you're down by 6 goals, you're done. Like, ain't nobody gonna come back from that. And like, you see, like, oh yeah, I might be down by like 12 points. I pin this guy, I win the whole thing. And it's just like, dang, like, you can just kill him like that.
Yeah.
And I kind of just enjoyed that part of the game, that like, it didn't matter how like bad you were down, you could always come back up. And it kind of like, now that like I look at that now that I'm older, it's like everything you do in sports comes back to like a life lesson with you, because then you see it a different way than when you saw it when you were little. Mm-hmm. And how is it like, just like your whole time been there, like at Cornell and stuff like that? Has it been like a big surreal moment? Because I know that, like, you know, for like you said right now, like it's cool because you didn't think like your potential was that high, but now that you've been there, would you like consider it home now?
I kind of have to consider it home. I'm there like 50 weeks out of the year. I'm up there, but no. Going off what you said, at first, and even sometimes now, I have a bit of, you know, imposter syndrome, which I think a lot of people get when they're in places of like high achievement. I'll be at practice and I'm surrounded by all these great wrestlers, and I'm like, what am I doing here? Or, you know, people down here don't know this about Cornell, but Cornell's like, it's an Ivy League school, so it's like in the same like league as Harvard and Yale. So it's like a high striving academic school too, and I'm in class with some of the smartest kids in the world, and I'm like, what am I doing here? Like, I'm from Tennessee.
Facts.
So yeah, it's definitely been super surreal, and just adapting to that and trying to realize that, you know, I should be here. Like, I'm here for a reason, so I deserve to be here. Actually, I don't like to say that I deserve anything, but I feel like I've earned my spot at Cornell, and I just have to take advantage of that now. But yeah, my whole experience at Cornell is definitely full of a lot of learning experiences. Like this weekend when we were wrestling in Nashville, I don't know, my coaches, before, I'm in like a sort of like a roster battle to be the starter. Not really, but my coaches just told me before the duels to just be ready for every duel. Like, I might not wrestle, I might wrestle, just be ready for every duel. So I'm like warming up before our second duel against Pitt, and really I have like no intention of actually wrestling. I don't think I'm actually going to get the start for this duel, so what am I warming up for? And then midway through the match before me, so like 3 minutes before the match, coach turns around and he goes, "Ashton, you're wrestling." I'm like, okay. So I'm like, all right, now I got to like actually like get in the zone, because I was like halfway warming up. And, you know, it was like that moment I was like, okay, my hard work has paid off. Like, I'm here for a reason, and I'm wrestling the number 8 kid in the country. Like, the number 8 kid in the country against Pitt. Like, he's ranked to be an All-American this year. Like, I'm wrestling a kid. That's where I want to be. And that match didn't go my way, but I know I gave it everything that I had, and I wrestled really tough, and my coaches were pretty happy with the way that I wrestled. So, like, learning from that matches in high school, if I'd have lost, I'd have just been devastated for like a week. I would have just been down bad for a week. But, you know, you got to take every experience as a learning experience and grow from them, aside from making winning and losing your identity. That's something that I did for a long time. But now I want to be great. So if I got to take losses along the way for that to be the case, then so be it.
Yeah, because so many times I say that I think, you know, those experiences, you know, just losing sometimes is good, because sometimes you win so much, you get used to it, and you need somebody to smack you in your mouth so you realize, you know, and it's necessary, bro. Like, going back to, you know, just my life in general, a lot of the things, man, just sports-wise, I think just here at Cleveland, you know, when I got here, I had really high expectations, especially, like, even Coach Knox would come and talk to me, like, every day. He'd be like, "Are you going to wrestle this year? Are you going to wrestle? Are you going to wrestle?" I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know yet, because I was trying to work, and I was trying to do stuff, and I couldn't play 2 sports and work. So I told him, I was like, I can't. And, like, he was like, come on, man. Like, you were a good wrestler in middle school. I think you can be good for us in a couple years. Like, you could start. And, like, you know, Blake used to be there at my weight class. And Blake was a hammer, bro. I was scared of Blake. You know, that dude was crazy. So I was scared of him, and I was like, nah, man, I'm not finna put myself in that position to get killed by this guy. So I didn't go my freshman year, but my freshman year went great for me. I prepared a lot for soccer that year, really motivated. A lot of the guys on the team, the guys had already passed through the team. the alumni, they one of the guys' name was Elias. He was a good kid, and he always like helped me a lot. He was on a full ride of Brian, so he had a lot of time, and all the time out he would drive me up to Brian, and I would practice with those kids and like a lot of Brazilians and all these other kids from other countries. And so I would say like NIA, it's kind of like the JUCO of like colleges, because you go to NIA kind of like make it out and get a better scholarship. And so a lot of the kids that were there for like England and other countries were like dogs, bro. Like kids that you would see like D1. Like these kids are D1. Yeah. Like I don't know why they're here, you know. But like NIA offers so much like international help, like bringing you here, making you legal, giving you like all types of like, I guess just like legal like help that like other colleges probably wouldn't be able to help you that much, because you know they got more like kids that recruit. You know, you're not the only kid, you know. And NIA, you know, those are their gifts. Like they want to have those kids that come from other countries that they go and recruit, you know. And there's a lot of these kids are from the streets, man. Like a lot of these kids are from like small cities, or like they're playing in dirt with leather balls, you know. And like the coaches are like, yeah, that's the kid we want, you know. And it's crazy because some of the other colleges, like they always go to like the good schools, you know, and go and recruit like good schools that have good tradition, that have won a lot of state championships, a lot of championships in general. And you go to like, I always say like sometimes the talents are, I feel like sometimes the diamonds are in the dirt, you know, and you got to find them, and it's hard, you know. Some colleges I feel like just don't want to like go out there and like look for a kid that has like two or three good matches and give them a chance, you know. Yeah. And so, you know, a lot of these schools, you know, like especially in the NIA like rankings, they just give kids opportunities, and it helps them a lot. So I played with this guy. He plays now for Longhorns in Texas, but at the time he was like the top free kick scorer in NIA, and he played for Brian. And like Elias would tell me how multiple times he would see him like in the, like he would wake up in the morning like to go eat breakfast, and that he had already put in 2 workouts, and he was like shooting outside and stuff, like shooting free kicks every day. And he made his own free kick like people, like he made it out of wood. So he made like, and he would just put it on the field and just shoot free kicks into his class like at 10 a.m. And he would be up every day like at 5 a.m. working out. And he was like the most like calm and like gentle guy. Like that's what he said. He was so calm. Like you would talk to him like, yeah, mate, I'm doing good. And like he'd be like, it was so cool because he was like telling me like the coaches are like so cool because you meet like people from England, people from Brazil, people from Guatemala, like different places that you probably would have never met if you didn't go there. So they were all so cool. Like they got me and Elias into listening to like UK rap music, and like they would always play it in the car, and I'd be like, bro, this is it right here. And I'd be like, nah, bro, I don't even know what it says. I'd be so confused sometimes. A lot of the words they use are not words we use, so it was like really confusing. But they were so cool, man. So like genuine people. Like it was so cool because, you know, like now, you know, like the Nike stuff is like really like nice for us. You know, it's like sometimes hard to get, but you know, it's nice. And over there at the UK, that's like normal. Like that's something that like everybody uses, and like they used to have like whole on like tracksuits. Like they only rock tracksuits. Like literally, all of them had like every color of the tracksuits of Nike. Like every color. And they would tell us like, bro, in the UK they're cheap. Like you go and buy it, and he was like, and like they give you deals because like Nike goes and like it's like a lot of the soccer teams that are in Germany are sponsored by Nike. So most of the time, like you can find their gear for like so cheap because they have so much that like they just go and sell it, or like they give it to stores, and like stores sell it really cheap. And he was telling, he's like, bro, you can buy you like a brand new kit, like a soccer kit, so cheap, and like here it's like 100 and something sometimes for a jersey. Over there it's like 50, like it's cheaper. So he was telling me, he's like, yo, it's like way better. And like they went to the UK that year, and they brought back like a bunch of jerseys, like old like classic jerseys that you can't find here, that you'll probably pay like a bag for. And like he was like, bro, you can go and buy them at any store. He's like, you find them, like they have them in cases, and you just ask them how much they want for it. You can bid on it, or you can even work a deal, and like they give it for you cheaper because they'll probably find another one in a couple of weeks anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And I was like, dang, that's so cool, because the UK is such a big soccer country that like everybody's like in love with soccer there. Like soccer is like the most like craziest sport in the UK. And so that's what they say, like it's so different here because like you say, like you go up there and like they have so many different things that we are not used to, you know. So like what are one thing that like you think that is like cool that they do, or like that they have a habit of doing that like, you kind of like?
That's a really tough question. What is one thing that people do in New York that I think is interesting?
Do they snowboard or ski or anything?
Dude, not really.
No.
Man, I don't know. Nothing's interesting. The South is better.
Yeah.
I just got to get them to understand that the South is better. That's what really matters.
They just need to come down here and see.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I feel like they're up there, and like up there's just a mountain, bro. There's nothing really out there for real.
But both my boys that came down with me, so this summer, my friend Vince Cornella, he's super great at wrestling. He came down with me. We ran a camp at Cleveland for like the youth kids and the high school kids. He's from Colorado though, so he's not really from the north. And then this time, my roommate, he's from California. He came with me, so they're getting to experience that too, which is pretty cool.
What are you gonna do with them? Are you gonna take them anywhere special or not?
When Vince came in the summer, we went like rafting down the Ocoee, and
That's cool.
like we just hung out with like
Nate works there, right?
Nate.
Oh, what's his last name? He used to be a wrestler.
Oh, Nate Schilling.
Yeah.
Nate works there. Yeah. Yeah. So we just did like some Tennessee stuff, but nothing really special. Just showing around, eating good food.
Having fun. Yeah. Do you think that are you from the country? Or you live in the city?
I don't. I live in like the outskirts of Cleveland, but I have a nice house.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Because a lot of people say that. I honestly think that like country people are like really, really like engaged in the world. I think I would say, because I've hung out with like some country guys that I know that I work with in construction, and like they're so energetic, man. Like so many times, like we get out of work and like there's only like, they don't even really work with us. Like our whole group that I work with, they're all Hispanics. We pour concrete, but there's a lot of the guys that are truck guys. Like they're all the truck guys that come and they're so cool with us. Like bro, like they're all old heads, but they're cool. And like they invited us to like a party that they were gonna have at their house or something like that at the end of the year. So we went, and like bro. Dude, that was a party, bro. Like, they were packed, bro. Everybody, it was so fun because, like, they were shooting and stuff like that, like, throwing axes and all that stuff. And, like, for us, that's, like, cool. But, like, we're not used to that. Like, we're Hispanics, bro. We party, but with music and that's it. Like, we don't really do anything, like, crazy like that, you know? And you're out there and, like, I remember some of my coworkers would be asking, like, bro, is this legal? Like, are we allowed to do this? Like, do you think they're going to call the cops that we're shooting out here? I was like, nah, bro, they don't care. And he's like, hey, that's the good thing about living on the country. He's like, you don't really have to worry about no neighbors. Yeah. Like, your neighbor's about a mile away. I was like, yeah, that's cool. And then he was like telling us all this stuff. And I think it's just so cool. I like hanging out with country people because I feel like they're so much into nature. Like, the guy started fire. Like, you know how in the movies you see them, like, hit rock with rock and, like, make a spark?
Yeah.
And, bro, I remember as a little kid, I would always try, and it would never work. This guy hit it one time, and it sparked and, like, lit up the whole thing. I was like, what? I was so confused. Like, dang, that's cool. And he was like, yeah, man, it's practice, man. You got to be good. I was like, yeah, that's crazy. I couldn't do that. But how long have you been here in Cleveland now that you came? A couple of days or what?
Yeah, I got here. Yesterday was like my first day here, so.
Oh, full day?
Yeah.
Oh, bro, congrats on getting engaged, bro.
I appreciate it.
Hey, man, that's crazy.
It is
Dude,
crazy.
That's crazy. How long have you been with your girlfriend?
We started dating at Cleveland Middle School.
Whoa.
In like 8th grade.
That's a long time.
It's what like 5-6 years now.
Mm-hmm. Where's she at?
She was originally going to Lee.
Mm-hmm.
She went to Lee last year while I was up there, and we just kind of decided that long distance was not really for us. So
yeah.
She moved up there with me, and that was kind of one of the big reasons why I decided to propose. Like, she's willing to make that big change for me. Like,
that's a lot.
What am I waiting for?
Facts.
So it's super awesome having her up there now. It's like.
Yeah.
Now I kind of like I have my support system up there, and then I have her, which is like it made a whole world of difference. And I think honestly that's part of the reason why I've done a lot better. I've been a lot more successful this year than I was last year. It's just having her up there to just be my rock.
Was that process easy or was it hard on her parents? Because like that's kind of crazy.
Oh no, it was definitely tough on her parents. It's she's never lived away from home. Like when she went to Lee, she still stayed at home with her parents and stuff, and it's a little more expensive up there than it was here. But they understood that it was the right decision for her. And, I had a conversation with them too. So we talked about it. It wasn't like spur of the moment type of thing.
No, that's cool because I feel like just having that, like you said, that support system with you is like awesome and stuff like that. But I'm really happy for you, man.
I appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I've seen y'all been together forever, so that's such like a cool moment. I feel like that's something like you see in the movies, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's cool. Like, I feel like that's just so like genuine because, that bond is way tighter, you know what I'm saying, than it's ever been. So, and that's like a great thing to have. But, up looking to your next matches you finna have, now in January 5th, on Friday, y'all are gonna wrestle against Ohio State. How you looking forward to that one? I don't know if you're gonna be wrestling or not, but
Yeah.
I know it's a big, intense like match. A big match. So
It's gonna be a super exciting duel. So we have to go back up to New York on the 27th, get a good week of training in before we go down to Ohio for that match. If I get the start or not, I'm super excited. If I do, their heavyweight is Nick Feldman. I wrestled him in high school. He was like the number 1 pound-for-pound recruit in high school, so super great opponent. I'd love to try to get that match back, But, yeah, all in all.
So you wrestled him before?
I wrestled him in high school, yeah.
Oh, shoot. That's cool. Where did he wrestle at?
He's from Pennsylvania. He went to, a prep school up there.
Okay.
But, yeah, he's super tough. He kicked my butt in high school, but...
Yeah.
All in all, I'm super excited for that duel. I think it's going to be a great duel. We're ranked pretty close to each other, so it'll be good to prove what we're really about, especially after taking the loss to Iowa State this weekend.
Yeah, how was that Iowa State match? Because I saw that it wasn't like crazy blowout, but it looked like y'all lost like 2 or 3 matches.
Yeah.
But you said a lot of your starters are out.
Yeah, Vito didn't wrestle. We have Julian and Meyer didn't wrestle. They're 2 of our big guns. So we had backups in all 3 of those weights, and all 3 of them lost. Like one of our backup had to wrestle Cody, and our backup had to wrestle David Carr.
Yeah.
So it's like it was kind of tough for us.
Who was gonna wrestle Cody?
His name is Meyer. He's a freshman also. He was my roommate last year.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like a 2-time world champion, crazy good at wrestling. So that was like a match that everyone was really looking forward to. But there were some unfortunate little injuries before that match that kept it from happening. But we lost the duel. It is what it is. So we move on from there.
I mean, yeah, bro. Cody's a dog too.
Cody is a dog.
I was gonna try to get him to come on the pod, but I think it was gonna be so difficult because I was gonna have all of y'all here, and it's gonna be a crazy day. Yeah, but maybe in the future I'll be able to bring him or something, see what happens. But it's a really cool experience. I think I would say, just with everybody around and stuff like that. But Ohio has a lot of dogs, man. Jesse Mendez is a crazy guy.
Yep.
And he lost a match, I think, to Pitt. I think they lost. And he lost last minute. It was through a roll through or something like that. And got him good, but he's a good kid, man. One of the best in the country for sure. But after that, you're gonna have January 7th. You're gonna have Virginia Tech.
Yep.
Man, and Kyle Lewis, man, a dog. How do you feel? That's a big match too. Now I think that's gonna be a couple days after. Yeah, that's gonna be on Sunday.
Yep. Back in New York too.
Yeah. How do you feel about that one?
I'm excited and grateful that our coaches are putting us through the ringer right now, because what really matters is March. So they're getting us the toughest competition now that we need so that we can be successful then. But the Virginia Tech duel is going to be awesome. We wrestled them last year at their home, and now they're going to come wrestle us at our home. So we're going to see how that goes. Obviously, every time we go into a duel, I think we can win. So whether that's Penn State or that's UTC, I think we can win anything. I think we're the best team in the country. We just gotta prove that.
Yeah. No, I mean they're a tough team. Y'all have 2 very tough matches. These 2 next ones. So how do you feel that is really gonna transition? Because I know that there's a lot of things going on. Just now, with your injury and stuff like that, even the team, with a couple injuries, bruised up. But, Do you feel like your whole lineup is gonna probably be back by the time that happens, or you know?
They should be.
Yeah.
There's no reason why we shouldn't put our best foot forward for those duels, and I think we will, and I think we'll prove what we're really about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now with all that going on, all these guys and stuff like that. What is one of your favorite memories being here at Cleveland? Because I know that, like, you know, it's almost the end of the year. It's almost Christmas. Probably the reason why I'm wearing PJs, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, like, what's one of the things that that you will always remember from being here in Cleveland?
A lot of my Cleveland memories really come from the wrestling team.
Yeah.
Because the Cleveland wrestling team, it really is just like a big group of brothers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those are the guys that you hang out with after school, after practice, in the summers. Like, those guys become your family and your best friends. So a lot of my memories come from that. This is probably my favorite memory. It was my freshman year. It was like probably 3 or 4 days before state, the state tournament. And Coach Knox was like, you know what, we're not wrestling today. It was like raining hard outside. It was like pouring. And he was like, we're gonna play ultimate frisbee on the football field.
Yeah.
So we played ultimate frisbee in the pouring rain on the football field for like an hour, and then afterwards he like made us do some hot yoga, which was like not cool. But I'll never forget playing that game of frisbee with like all our friends. We're like drenched. Coach Knox is like running around just being crazy. I was like, it was something I'll never forget for some reason. I love playing ultimate frisbee with the team.
I remember the one that was really good at ultimate frisbee was Hagen, bro. He would jump so high, bro.
Hagen was
Dude,
really
he
good.
could jump so high. That was crazy. I remember that. I'd be like, bro, this white kid is out here jumping out the gym, bro. It's just funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, with all the guys, but you know, with the camps and stuff like that, y'all running any camps over the summer?
I plan to. I haven't set any up yet, which I probably should. I should start doing that. But I've had a couple coaches throughout Tennessee, like some in Murfreesboro and in like Knoxville, that have hit me up asking me to run camps for them this summer. So I'll probably do that. I'll probably bring one of my guys from up there at Cornell with me to help me do that. Yeah, it's a great way for us to, you know, make some side cash doing what we love.
I mean, that's cool, bro. You got to make the cheese, you know what I'm saying?
And it's like a super easy, like, you know, make a good chunk of money just off like one day of doing what you love to do.
Yeah.
And I can do that while I'm back here at home, so it's awesome.
That's cool. Yeah, now being up there, do you do anything else, like any other activities when you have so much time? Because I know you have time, man, to throw up to the sky, but like you said, is there anything that you enjoy doing on your free time?
Yeah, I mean, now that school has started, or like this year, now that I had school, that kind of took up a lot of my time. But last year we just did a lot of like family bonding type of things, like playing board games and watching movies. But in the summer, I was up there all summer, and we did a lot of swimming, like in the gorge. Like we have gorges up there. I don't even really know how to explain a gorge, but it's pretty much this big body of water with like some cliffs all around it. So we would have a good time at the gorges. And actually, we bought like an above ground pool for our little apartment for our house, and we didn't tell our landlord. She was not very happy, but because like there was this huge patch of dead grass. But we had a lot of fun in that pool. Some like 3v3 basketball games and stuff like that, and we're wrestlers. Bro. We all suck at basketball, so we were just wrestling and like trying to play basketball. But no, we had a lot of good time.
A lot of good times. What's your favorite type of movie? What movies y'all watch?
It's gonna sound kind of fruity, but we watch a lot of rom-coms.
Damn. What?
Rom-coms are fire.
That's crazy.
Don't sleep on rom-coms.
Bro, I thought you was gonna say something like, I don't know. I just didn't expect that. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, a lot of the guys don't like horror movies, which, like, I kind of like. I watch a lot of horror movies here, but rom-coms, man.
That's
where they're at. That's where it's at.
Shoot, let me know, bro. No, what's it called? I personally, I like a lot of, like, I've been watching them with my homies, a lot of, like, war movies.
War movies, all right.
Yeah, like Hacksaw Ridge. I don't know, a lot of them. I've watched, well, who really got me into it was my history teacher, Mr. Amanya, bro. He clutched up a lot. when we were in this class, we'd watch like a lot of movies and just like write like page, like not really write a page, but just fill out the blanks like on the movie, and he would just pause it and like you would write it down the blanks. And a lot of times, those movies were like fire. Like there's another one called I don't know if you've ever seen American Sniper. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
The American Sniper is like probably one of my favorite movies. There's another one called Survive. I think one of them was like Last Survivor or something like that. It's a movie about these guys who went to they were like stuck in a mountain, and they were like on a mission to try to find like this family or whatever, and they couldn't find them, and they started getting caught by like the people who live there, you know, who are going up like with their animals and stuff like that. Sheep are up in the mountains and supposed to go get them, and they're like trying to stay away, but they accidentally kill somebody, and then like the whole village knows that like, there's Americans at the top of the point, and they're like trying to survive. But hey, I'm gonna tell
That
you,
sounds
bro,
crazy.
that movie's crazy.
I might
bro.
watch that movie.
Y'all need to watch that. Like literally, I every day I search up like new war movies, and I just find like good movies. Like there's another movie called 1917. You need to watch that movie. It's like about a messenger who like is trying to send a message all the way to like the other front to tell him to hold back because the Germans have like a trap for them and they're trying to kill him. And so this guy's like on a whole journey trying to make it to this whole other fort. And like he's like running through bombs and like all types of things. He goes to like a German bunker where like you just see like straight like all the food is poison, like everything's poison, like because they want like Americans to eat it so they'll die. So like everything, they can't eat nothing that is there. And, like there's good food, like the food is good, but you can't eat it because it's like full of poison. And there's like bombs and stuff all over the floor. It's a crazy movie, bro.
I forgot. We watch a lot of like crime and documentaries too. We
Dude,
watch, like,
I love
sports
crime movies,
documentaries, crime documentaries.
Dude, I'm telling you, like the crime movies are fire too, because a lot of those movies that kind of make you look at like the way that they look at stuff.
Yeah.
Like with murders and stuff like that. Those are crazy movies too.
Sometimes I watch them and I'm like, I could be a lawyer. Like I could solve this problem. But
Yeah, facts.
Then I realized that's a lot.
Isn't Cornell like a law school too?
It is. We have a huge law school, but that's a big commitment.
Yeah, that's
years-wise
crazy.
for academia.
Yeah, bro, that's a whole lifetime. No, yeah, like Fury's a fire movie too, because Fury has a lot of like good actors on there. Like you know, like the guy that acts out, what's the movie called? Transformers, like the main guy.
Gotcha. I'm not good with that.
I don't know actors. I just know him by whatever movie they did. But yeah, he's in there. This Hispanic one that is like every Hispanic movie I've watched, he's in there. The guy who acted out, what's that movie called? Spider-Man is on there. I think it was like the last guy.
Tom Holland,
And that's the other guy, the one before him.
Andrew Garfield.
I think it's Andrew Garfield. It's kind of weird, but yeah. Yeah, that guy. And like it's kind of cool because that movie's like, that movie's from 2014. And so like all those actors are in that movie, but I was like, yo, I wonder what the budget was for that movie because having so many like good actors like that, man, the money got to be good, you know what I'm saying? Because ain't nobody finna be acting if that bag ain't fat. Nah, yeah, but the movie I was talking about is called Lone Survivor.
Lone Survivor. Gotcha.
Yeah, bro, you need to watch that movie, bro. That
might
movie's
watch that.
fire. Have you watched Braveheart?
I have seen Braveheart.
That movie's fire too, bro. Yeah, straight. I'm telling you, I'm showing straight gas right now. No curveball, you know what I'm saying? The Patriot. Have you seen The Patriot?
I don't think so.
Bro, that movie's so dumb. Like, dude, like they shoot like this, and the bullet goes sideways. Cause like I don't know if you know this, but like back in the old times, like if they shot a rifle, you know, it was crazy how they used to have war because they used to all go in line, right? They would shoot each other. Like I'm telling you, like a shooting distance. Like you're right there, I'm right here. They would shoot each other, right? And now the next line comes while the other guys are in the back trying to fix their gun, put their bullet in, put the gunpowder, trying to make sure it's ready for the next shot. Like, bro, do you know how much time that is? Like, bro, like I was thinking, I'm like, damn, like no way they just like, yeah, you know what? If this shot don't hit, I'm dying. So, you know, it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? I was like, no wonder they lost so many wars. Because they was just standing like this trying to get shot. Like, nah, bro, we hiding. But nah, it's crazy. But yeah, you know, I'm really happy, man, to bring you on, you know, to the pod. It's been, you know, something that we've been in the talks for a while now, you know, and I'm really happy I finally made it happen, man. Thank you, you know what I'm saying, for coming through. You know what I'm saying? It's been a cool episode for me, you know what I'm saying? And good thing, you know, I had fun with you. I was able to see you again. It's been a while since I've seen you. I'm really happy, you know, to see that you're doing great things up there, you know, representing us the right way. I know that it's been a while, maybe since you've been around, but you know, it's fun to see you back. And I know all the other guys, you know, if they were here, they'll probably be really happy too. But you know, right now they're in Florida, so you know I can't really do nothing about that.
I went by and saw him the other day.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I mean that's cool. But thank you to all y'all guys. You know, this is the end of this series for me. It's gonna be something that you know I've been doing for a very long time. Thank you to everybody who has came through. I really appreciate y'all. Y'all don't know how much this means to me. I worked my butt off for this, and you know I won't post another episode until January 9th. So it's gonna be until next year. Start off with a banger too. Another wrestling guy, man, that I'm really excited about. He's been on here before, but he's a baller, man. He's a killer, and really happy to have him on January 9th. Don't forget, we will be back in the series. This Friday I'm dropping this episode, so be tuned. 5 p.m. Eastern, Off the Top podcast on YouTube, and still Off the Top on all other platforms. Thank you for the support. Thank you for everything I've done, man. Keep on striving, keep on battling. Don't give up on your dreams, and always believe in yourself. Let's go. Peace.